Hot diggity! Dog! I'm the captain.
And hello everybody, my name's Joss.
That's right. You know, we love an epic deal on this channel, and they don't come much more, well, they probably do come a bit more epic than this, but this is today's epic deal. How would you go about pronouncing the brand of these pedals, Joss?
Well, I was always told that it was Hotone.
Hotone.
But then Pete was like, no, it's Hotone.
Hot
one. Not Hotone. Hot one.
If you like a hot one, or a Hotone, or a hot tone, I think we've got some discontinued pedals here from the little micro pedal people at Hotone.
They're really cool.
Hotone are one of the more popular kind of brands of micro pedal. With their own kind of vibe. They do this thing where they put the knob on the back of the pedal and they make the actual box of the pedal even smaller. Anyway, look, I think these pedals are discontinued. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're discontinued. And we've got 6 pedals here today. There should have been a 7th.
There should have been.
Nobody's entirely sure why the 7th pedal isn't here. It's one of life's mysteries. But there's a graphic EQ pedal that should be here as well. We'll show you that on screen now. That's not actual size. That's probably larger than actual size. We've got a buffer boost, a regular boost, a distortion pedal called a chunk, like a British rock distortion pedal. One called a whip, which is a higher gain sort of metal pedal.
Whip. A
Q box, which is an auto, like a filter.
Like an envelope filter.
An envelope filter was the word I was looking for. And a cab simulator. And these are all reduced now to clear to either $29.99 or $39.99, depending on the pedal, which is all roughly-ish sort of half price, which is cool. So Joss is going to be our demonstrator for the day.
Hello.
We'll change guitars round, use the power of thought for which guitar you'd like Joss to use, and you never know, it might work. Clean amplifier sounds a bit like this. Beautiful! All the reverb's coming from the amp, but all the other stuff's going to come from these pedals. So we're going to start with the chunk. I've actually got the buffer and the boost plugged in because I'm going to lay them over the chunk as well. some super chunk, absolutely. Anyway, here's just the chunk on its own, and you'll see when I turn it on, the little knob at the back lights up.
Cool.
I think the name is appropriate.
Definitely. I love that cranked, as you said, you know, the whole British sort of thing going on. I love that warm, fat. It's, you know, if I was going to be doing a heavy sort of thing over a clean side of things, if it was nice and tight drive, I'd prefer something like that than a full-on distortion, you know?
Yeah, the sort of the less is more thing.
Yeah.
I'll come back to the buffer, or we'll look at the buffer and the boost independently, but here's how you could use, and often do use, buffers to sort of drive the input stage of a gain pedal a bit hotter, so to give you almost like a rhythm and lead element to it. So I've set the chunk on like a super low, I think I'm on like gain 1 out of 10 here for a sort of a... And then we can chuck in a boost pedal to do this. So you can kind of take a clean sound and become like a 3-channel amplifier with 2 really affordable pedals.
I mean, that's what I've been using for my own rig recently. I just got a dedicated clean amp now, and then I've got a selection of 2 pedals, like a low gain one, and then theoretically 2 low gain ones, and then you just stack them and then you get like a big old chunky tone. Mix
and matching gain pedals is the new thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, with all the dual pedals and stuff, you can just do it with individual ones if you want. Chris
Buck, wonderful guitar player from the Valleys, I believe. He came in with a pedal board for a video earlier this year, and it literally just had like 10 distortion pedals on it.
Yeah,
and it was like, what's the deal here? And it's like, well, I just like these 3 together or these 3 together, and it was like, oh, it did sound wicked. Anyway, so look, that's the chunk. $29.99. I said these all end of line. I don't know how many of each. We got like 30 or 40 of each. When they're gone, they're gone. It's pocket money stuff, isn't it? This
definitely 100%.
Pocket money for rich kids, anyway. Right, let's try a whip. The whip, higher gain. You may well also be asking yourself, where does the battery go in these pedals? Well, Joss, there is no battery.
I did ask.
There's no battery. They are power supply only. We do have these pedals though we've put these pedals on the same offer as our Tone City pedals, which are, if you buy 2, we give you the power supply and the daisy chain cable for free.
Well, there you go.
With these pedals. But anyway, so look, so that's why, yeah, you can see these little cables going in the side. That's the power supply. So the whip is a higher gain version of the chunk. So let's try this too.
That's a lot of drive.
It's a lot of drive, isn't it? It's not my kind of pedal, but to be honest with you, for all the guys out there that are going, I've always wanted a Boss Metal Zone, but I can't afford one. That's the kind of pedal that you want.
I love how it can actually get to the warmth of the chunk, but with a little bit more saturation. I do like that. We
can try it as well. We'll try the mix and matchy boosty thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. It's got like this U2 mode on it as well.
Hey?
Yeah, this button in the middle. It says Edge on it. So I'm guessing.
One sec. No, yeah, it's
nothing to do with that. Must be a tone thing, maybe. Okay, let's try it using it with one of these booster pedals as well. So. It sounds okay.
I think it sounds, I mean, if you can...
$29.99.
Yeah, I mean, that's what... I get confused sometimes when I'm trying to speak. So, so when I get excited about something, I speak a bit too fast and then I end up stumbling over my words. So what I was going to say was, for 30 quid, you can't complain.
So that's the whip. So they're the 2 drive pedals, the chunk and the whip. Let's just focus on the 2 boost pedals. Now, the lift up...
Can I change guitar for the boost pedals?
For sure. Yeah, we can go, because we're probably going to go a little bit more sort of less gainy anyway. What do you want? Telecaster, Stratocaster?
Grab the Telecaster.
Oh, the Telecaster.
Because I bought one.
Oh, you're going to go with the Brad Paisley?
Yeah, because I bought one.
I heard that rumour.
The rumour is true.
Yeah, I would never have put you down as a sparkly Telecaster with a Paisley scratch plate kind of guy.
Well, let me tell you what. Let me say one name. Peter Onray.
Yeah.
Jamming with that gentleman and being around him every day.
That made you want a Telecaster.
I bought a Telecaster.
But why pink and sparkly? Sorry, silver and sparkly.
I don't know. I just thought it was rad. I just thought it looked cool looking, absolutely amazing. It weighs nothing. It plays incredibly well.
Yeah.
I restrung it and it sounds great. And
big neck, isn't it, on there?
Big old chunky neck. Yeah. So I think that's one of the main things. Because
look at the size of it. From the angle that I'm on, you probably can't even see.
You can't even let the. There's no actual like curvature.
I'm not sure I've even seen that before. Show the camera what you're talking about.
So usually with Strats and Telecasters, you can see where the curve is, but there is like nothing there. It's just a big,
literally, someone has just gone and grabbed a baseball bat off the thing and just gone, I'll stick that on a guitar. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's fine.
So look, let's look at the boosts. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm struggling to actually really understand what the difference exactly between the lift up and the fat buffer is.
Okay.
The manuals are not terribly helpful. But anyway, there are a couple of different features in each one. So the actual lift up, the sort of straight traditional boost, the big knob at the back is boost, then there's volume, then there is tone, and then there is a warm switch. So let's see what that does over a clean tone.
So let's just see what they do,
yeah. say that that's one of those, if your rig, like your guitar and amp, is just a bit thin sounding for you, it's just a pop that in, leave it on all the time, fatten it up a bit.
Yeah.
It probably does if we can kind of lean over and just get like this much crunch on the amplifier.
A little bit of dry, a little bit of crunch.
Yeah, a little bitty. It'll have the same effect that it was kind of having on the distortion pedals, in that it'll take your amplifier into sort of more saturated gain. That's probably, so let's have a little, so we've turned the preamp volume on this amplifier up to sort of half.
Yeah.
So it'll still, with a single coil pickup beat, probably just a hair. Exactly what it's doing. And of course, the more preamp gain you add into the amplifier, the more this will just layer up over the top. So I quite like that. Again,
yeah,
$29.99, nice easy way of just adding another palette, another kind of tonal palette.
Yeah, just another palette.
The other one, the Fat Buffer, if I'm honest with you, is doing pretty much the same thing, although it's got some different tones in it.
It feels a little darker, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's got a bass and treble control on it, and some sort of high cut on it. Now, a buffer is the kind of the electronic circuit, if you like, that's in an amp, that's in a pedal, that affects the impedance of the signal that's coming out of your guitar. And a lot of players have opted to put a buffer in the chain of, particularly with sort of older vintage pedals, so that you don't get these sort of big tonal, well, I say big, these sort of noticeable tonal and volume sort of changes when compared to when all your pedals are on and all your pedals are off.
Yeah.
So
it just keeps like a strong signal running through your board, like, or that sort of thing. Is that the sort of thing?
The buffer element of it is more about when you've got a few pedals, and you notice that actually if you were to just take all the pedals out and just have your cable plugged in, you just notice it just sounds totally different. The idea of having the buffer in there is it eliminates that.
Any sort of dip and diving and all that sort of
most people,
uneasiness.
I think, assume that the idea of the buffer is it's the sort of the first pedal that you plug into the board. Yeah. Anyway, but in this instance, I think we're using it more as just like another boost type pedal. So if we do the same thing again, clean sound. Whoa! Obviously got that tanked up a bit there. Here we go. My gut, and the weird thing is, as far as I'm aware, again, actually, I should have probably listened more when Dan Steinhardt was explaining buffers to me.
See, that's the thing. I was watching a video the other day of those guys explaining buffers and stacking pedals and everything. So
I think the general rule of thumb is that as soon as any pedal is on, any powered pedal is on, it introduces an element of a buffer into your rig.
Sure.
So I think it's only about when things are off that you have this situation where, do you know what? Go and watch that pedal show, and they'll explain it much better than me. But either of these two pedals for $29.99 as a sort of a boost pedal is an option.
So remember that you can use them as well. We were just using them straight into a clean signal. Remember, any of these sort of two pedals that are, buffers or signal boosters or anything like that are going to work incredibly cool for your higher gain stuff as well. If you've got like a 5150 or an 800, JCM 800 or anything like that where you want to play heavy stuff but it's not tight enough on the bottom end, throw one of these in the front end of it, leave it on, and you're laughing.
I think the buffer would be better for that because you've got the independent. Well, they've both got a tone control, but you've probably got a little bit more control on the fat to take some of the bass end out if you want to tighten it up. But
yeah, it makes sense.
Hey, let's get all 70s funky and disco now with the Q box. I love this kind of pedal, and I think this will be the first one to sell out because for $29.99,
so good.
I think, is it 29 or is it 39? This one. Hang on a second. This might be the 39 one. Yeah, this is the 39 one, but it's still killer value. So this is a filter. So this is going to be an attack sensitive, like wah funk thing. So it's super disco funky. It's got 4 controls on it. They're all adjusting the type of sweep, the type of wah sweep that you get, the tonal sweep you get, how sensitive it is to how hard you're picking the strings. It's got the EQ, the actual frequency response that is being effectively changed. Okay. Loads of stuff. And then it's got this switch in the middle, which to be honest, it's got some like symbols. Mathematical symbols on it, yeah. I've no idea. Great. What does that mean? Divided by A or T or something. I'm not even entirely sure.
It's not even like high pass, low pass, or.
Let's do it. Let's just. I'll put everything on 5 and then change this. I think it's some sort of bass roll off.
Yeah, it might be something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna put this fat buffer thing in. I want to just sort of see how it works again with one of these. So that's the Q box. And it's fun. Yeah, it's cool. I said it's a little bit like the sort of the Electro Harmonics Dr. Q.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, you know, like the Boss or the Digitech envelope filters, that kind of vibe. But it's cheap. It's 39, like a budget.
39.
The last pedal is a cab simulator. Ooh. Now, Andertons are famed for their cab simulation video demonstrations, and this is going to be no different. So I'm going to...
I'm about to be famous.
I'm going to put the chunk back in because... You're gonna same destiny for John now. And right, so I'm putting the distortion pedal back in, but we're unplugging the amp, and we're plugging this little blue beauty in here, the cab sim, and we're going to go straight into the interface from our distortion pedal. We're actually hearing this through a little PA cab in the room, so we're roughly-ish hearing the same as what you're hearing. And I'm going to just get a regular distortion sound and show you, well, if you haven't already done this at home, if you've ever if you've got a computer at home, you want to do some recording, and you've got some pedals, and you've thought, oh, I'll just plug my guitar straight into my interface, into my computer, and you haven't got any clever amp simulation software running, you've just literally got a distortion pedal. It's going to sound pretty ropey, like this. So all those unwanted high frequency notes that, of course, when you play through a proper guitar amplifier and you've just got a single speaker with no high frequency driver, all that horrible nasty stuff is filtered away.
Yes.
So the idea of a cab pedal is that it does exactly the same. It filters out all that sort of unwanted high end and gives you a more natural guitar tone. So if we plug this on now, you'll hear, well, in fact, I'll plug it on halfway through you playing. So.
Okay. It'll
work just fine on a clean sound. You tend to find the electric guitar doesn't sound utterly awful on a clean sound with no cab simulation.
No.
It's really just when you start to introduce gain that it sounds dreadful. So on the little cab pedal from Hotone, there are 3 cabinet emulations, a 212, a 412 and a 112, which we can step through now. And we've got a volume control and a bass and a treble control. So if I put my little, well, I'm going to get a really fat, great sound out of this, and maybe this fat pedal here, which I like.
Okay.
So. Here we go. Here's the 212 setting. 112. Back to the 412. So look, that's, you know, imagine, again, this is not aimed at the pro guitar player. This is absolutely aimed at the guy that's maybe got 2 or 3 pedals. Yep. You know, perhaps he's got some other Hotone pedals or some Tone City pedals. He's got a little affordable pedal board going on.
Yep.
Wants to get some cool sounds into his computer without having to plug into his guitar amplifier. And little pedal like this for $39.99 may well give you that option. So, as I said, it's a shame we didn't have the graphic EQ pedal for the video.
It is a shame.
I think that's on a shelf in a warehouse somewhere. They are for sale. That's also, is that 39 or 29? It's one of the two.
It's one of the two. But I mean, there's 6 pedals there. So,
there
you know, I think we've done okay.
Yep, so there you go. Any questions?
Fire them. Are you asking me?
I don't know.
No, I don't have any questions, Lee.
Excellent. Well, there you go. So that's Epic Deals at Andertons on Andertons TV. I've been the captain.
And I've been Joss Allen.
And we'll see you next time. I've been just voted on to like a top 50 guitar players as well. Did I tell you that on YouTube? Did I tell you that?
You did. People with tiny feet. Because if you had a larger foot, you would knock that pedal over.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.